Hi, everyone. Bill Rentschler in the 1011 Now streaming studio. It is Wednesday afternoon. That means we're talking Crime Stoppers, and today we're lucky enough to have Captain John Baker with UNLPD in the studio today. Captain Baker, thank you as always for jumping in and joining us. Talked to you about a month ago. Mm-hmm. It was spring break,
yes,
I think, when we talked, and so things were kind of quiet on campus, but we're kind of in the sprint towards the end of the semester now.
We are. It's late May that the semester ends this year. It's a little bit of a change from previous years. So the semester goes a little bit later, but yeah, we are getting into the end of it.
And for you guys as officers, whether it's UNLPD, LSO, LPD, we're getting into short sleeve season for you guys too.
We are. I'm feeling a little warm today. It's one of those, you need something heavier in the morning, lighter. I don't feel like changing uniforms midday, so I just go with my gut. And today was a long sleeve day. So.
All right. Well, you'll probably need the short sleeves by the weekend. It's going to be
sounds like it.
80s.
Yeah.
So looking forward to that. All right. So we're talking today. Again, we got one crime that we need some tips on, and then it's kind of jumping up on us here, but we got the spring game coming up here.
It's coming up very quick.
And we're not going to see you again before the spring game, so we want to talk about some friendly reminders as everyone, again, congregates on campus for the spring game. But first, walk us through our first crime that we have here. We have a gentleman who took something that didn't belong to him.
Yeah, and so this is about a couple months ago, February 5th. Mm-hmm. We have some decent photos of him, and, the worst case, it's at the campus rec at UNL, right, the city campus. And he didn't even pay to get in. So we're not really pursuing that part, obviously. No. But, he was there for bad intentions when he doesn't even try to scan in or doesn't pay to get in, right?
Yeah.
So he enters it. He walks into one of the locker rooms, and, something that we deal with on campus is that convenience versus security frustration there. Not all the lockers, you have to subscribe for a locker that has a lock on it, or you can bring your own. Well, if you forget your own locker, you can use a day-use locker where you set your own code and so forth. So there's options, but unfortunately, in this case, our student didn't use one of those options and put their belongings into an unlocked locker, which doesn't matter where you're at. A local gym on campus, no matter where you're at, always either bring your own lock or use a locker that has a combination.
The dice if you're not.
Very much so.
Yeah.
You're usually going to lose too.
Yeah.
Just because it's so easy to see if there's anything inside. Act like you know what you're doing. You pop it open and you take the stuff and you're gone. Right? Yeah. You blend right in.
Yeah.
Carrying things that belong in a gym. So,
anyway,
walks into one of the locker rooms, takes his backpack, and then he kind of goes to a hidden area, goes through it, takes out a pink Apple MacBook Air. That's worth $1,000 right about there, and then some cash. Leaves the rest in the backpack, leaves it there. It's easier to get out, hiding this stuff underneath his jacket, and he takes off, right? But on the photos that you have there, we notice that he does have some distinguishing features. He's got either a mole or scab or some kind of mark there on his left upper cheek that maybe that sticks out to somebody that they know him, and we're hoping that we can get a few tips and talk to him about where we can maybe get this MacBook returned.
Yeah, because not only is that just the cost associated with losing the MacBook, this is a student's MacBook.
Right.
All of your homework, assignments,
papers, everything's on there.
Everything's on there. And again, it's probably backed up somewhere in the cloud. But,
hope so.
Not
always. Yeah.
That's a big pain in the butt to try and get all that back. So what would this individual, what would we be looking at in terms of potentially charging him?
It is under $5,000. So probably, I think it's a class 3 misdemeanor, class 1 misdemeanor, I believe it is, for this amount. So it's not quite to the felony level yet, but it is something that we should talk to them about. And again, trying to get that property back for the student is most important.
Yeah, 100%. So again, if you think you recognize this individual here, again, this is kind of the big shot of him zoomed out. Black hoodie, red coat, looks like black pants, short hair, and again, kind of that distinguishing mark on his right below his eye there. Maybe it's a mole, maybe it's a scab. So if you notice or potentially know who that person is, what would be the best way to get in touch with you or with Crime Stoppers in general?
Yeah, so this one is not on the Crime Stoppers website, at least not yet, but anyone can use those options that are on the website to report. So you can contact us directly, UNLPD, at our phone number, 472-2222. We have that, I think, last time or 2 times ago. We talked about our new texting feature. You can text us. We'd like to talk to a person. Well, I mean, we're cool. We text, but we like to talk to people too.
We send emojis.
Yeah, we can emoji with it all day long, but we like to talk to you so we can get a little bit more detailed information. But so you can call UNLPD, you can text UNLPD, but the only way to stay completely anonymous and to get the reward is to go through Crime Stoppers and call their number or go through that website or through the app.
And that number is 402-475-3600. You can see the website listed there on the screen. And again, the P3 app is what you would want to search for in that app store to get a hold of that. So again, this was the City Rec Center. That's 14th and N. And this was on
14th
February.
and Vine, just
14th
north of
and
Vine.
Vine. Sorry.
Yeah.
North 14th Street is
Yep.
what I meant to say.
Yep.
I saw the capital N. I said, oh, no, North 14th Street. And it happened on February 5th. And in the middle of the afternoon, too. About
Yeah.
4 o'clock in the afternoon.
Right,
So,
right. Pretty busy time for campus.
yeah, so pretty daring of that individual. So, again, if you know anything, we'd love to hear about it. Again, love to get that MacBook back to where it belongs. And hopefully, again, talk to the individual who ended up taking that.
Yeah.
So that brings us to now, I think it's 2 weeks from Saturday.
It is.
Spring game is already here. Kind of got, spring football kind of got put, on the back burner a little bit with the success of the basketball
Right.
and everything like that. And so it kind of started and it went under the radar, and now all of a sudden the spring game is here. And
I think that's why it feels like it kind of snuck up on us, right? We had
Yeah.
a lot going on with other sports, and next thing you know, spring game is here, which we treat it just like another football game.
Yeah.
I mean, we get roughly the same attendance, and I mean, it's televised. I mean, it's a thing, right? So we treat it just like a game.
Yeah, whole kit and caboodle. And if you've never been, I, for the first time just a couple of weeks ago, well, actually it was last fall, went to the Trans-Siberian Orchestra concert.
Oh,
And
really?
it had been a long time since I had gone to an event down at PBA. And they implemented the clear bag policy. My wife had brought her purse. She had to walk back to the garage,
Oof.
drop her purse off. So
Yeah. Let's avoid that today. Let's give them some tips.
Yeah,
on how
so
they can
again,
avoid that today.
these are the things that, again, that you need to know. Again, have the website pulled up, Nebraska game day information. So, again, what are kind of the highlights? Again, because there's a lot on this website that you can kind of dive into. You can click, whether you're going to football, basketball, softball, whatever it might be. But what are kind of the big ticket items you want people to know about?
Yeah. So let's chronologically, right? So
Yeah.
so buying your tickets. Make
Yeah.
sure folks are buying them from a reputable source. It is a spring game. Tickets are obviously a lot cheaper, but there's still opportunity for someone to sell the same barcode multiple times, or if people are selling they buy them, plans change, and if they don't cover up the barcode when they're selling them, someone can copy that barcode, because that is what gets entry into the stadium for that day. So protect tickets just like you would cash if you've already bought them. If you haven't, making sure you buy them from a trusted source. Getting there, not only do we have some lane closures for construction, but obviously traffic jams, traffic backup is going to be an issue. We recommend using Waze to kind of see what the road closures are, because we put special road closures in place for game day. And then so you can avoid those, and you can people using Waze can kind of get around the traffic jams, and it'll suggest a better route. All of UNL's parking lots are on Waze, so you can search those. I know the downtown parking garages are there as well, so it makes it easy to get to there. North 10th Street, closest to the stadium there, I know for sure those will have lane restrictions or lane closures for buildings. So just arrive early, plan to arrive early, and folks, give yourself plenty of time to get there. And if you want to Uber or Lyft, rideshare is just east of 14th and Vine. There's a pickup drop-off spot really close to East Stadium, really close to the stadium.
Short walk.
Yeah, and as us working traffic, we beg you, please use 14th and Vine, because we have more than enough traffic going up on the west side of the stadium that there's just not room and time, and it's a big safety concern to stop and let people out there. So, get around to the 14th and Vine area if you're going to drop off.
That's nice that you guys have sort of a dedicated, like, hey, we know people are going to take an Uber down here,
right,
or whatever it might be. This is where you go.
Yeah, yep. And, we sympathize with the rideshare drivers a bit, because, they're supposed to go where their passengers want to go. So if the passengers dictate on the west side, that driver's kind of in a tough spot. So let's make it nice for everyone, right? Everyone wins. Just use 14th and Vine for
14th and
rideshare.
Vine. And then, obviously, when you're getting into the stadium, clear bag policy.
Clear bag
applies.
policy is in effect. Previous years we've had a type of style or style of bag that was or wasn't allowed. Athletics has simplified that, and if it's clear and meets the size requirements,
You're good.
it can go in with inspection. Any larger than that, whether it's clear, plaid, polka dot, doesn't matter. If it's oversized, it's not going to be allowed in. And so that's something that they'll have to return to their car. Something else that we commonly deal with at the spring game is kids. It's a good football game to bring your family because tickets are less expensive, a little bit lighter atmosphere, and take a photo. We recommend always taking a photo of yourselves before going to the game, not just to remember it, but so you know what your kids are wearing.
Hey,
Yes.
my kid went to the concession and now I can't find him.
Exactly.
This is what they look like.
And maybe it's just me. I don't always remember what my kids are wearing every day. I could just be the only one, right?
It is not just you.
But I would imagine if you're bringing a family, you got a lot of things on your mind of like, hey, do we have all of our tickets? Do we have enough coats, jackets? What's the weather going to be like? So just take that photo. That way you have a picture of what your kids are wearing, and then teach kids. If they become lost, if they become separated, just look for a uniform. Doesn't matter if it's EMS, law enforcement, an usher, orange jacket, anybody that's wearing a uniform at the stadium. We're all connected.
Yeah.
We all use the same operational system, and so if a lost child goes to any one of those folks, we will get the message to every first responder, every stadium worker, and they can help join up the parents and lost kid at that point.
That's a really good tip. I hadn't thought about doing something like that before. I took my youngest to Monster Jam.
Oh, yeah.
Recently, this last weekend. And, they have the ushers there at PBA, and I didn't even think about to say, hey, because, as you're leaving, there's just so many people that it can be so easy to get separated.
Right.
I'm like, hey, go there or go find one of these people, and they'll help you.
Yeah.
That's a good tip.
Some final notes. Nebraska does have, I believe, softball and baseball that afternoon at Haymarket Park.
Yeah.
So if you're going from the stadium to Haymarket, just probably plan on walking.
Yeah,
I would say,
use the bridge.
use the bridge. It's going to be pretty congested. And if you're not going to the spring game, softball or baseball, how about just not come downtown, right? Might be a good day to go to the mall or something.
Yes.
I don't know, but if you're not going there, maybe best to stay out of downtown because it's going to be congested.
Yeah, it's going to be busy. And as always, again, we never necessarily know what the weather's going to be in late April, but there certainly has the potential to be warm. And again, when you get into that stadium with however many thousands of people that will be there, which it will probably be, 60, 70,000, if not more.
Yep.
Make sure you're staying hydrated as well.
Absolutely. We obviously, you know better than I would. I don't know what the weather's going to be like for that game, but
It's still a little too far away from
it
me to
is.
stay within any
It
sort of
is.
confidence.
So, but common sense. Wear layers. Wear something that it's easy to take off if you get too warm.
Yeah.
So, but and of course, we will be monitoring the weather, and if anything nasty looks like it's going to come up, we'll be ready for it. So.
All right. There we go. And again, if you need any refreshers on any of that, again, the website, huskers.com/game day, and you can get everything that we really
Absolutely.
just talked about.
Yep. Absolutely. One-stop shop for everything game day related.
And that's not just football game day. Again, that's basketball, baseball, softball, the whole works. So
Absolutely.
it's a really good resource. All right. Anything else that we missed that we need to talk about?
I don't think so. Take a peruse through the Crime Stopper site. Let us know if you have any crimes that you have information on any of those. And again, the one that we just talked about is not on the website yet, but and it doesn't have to be. You can report anything to us, and we will take that information, forward it to the correct agency, or work it ourselves. And the most important part is making Lincoln and campus a better place to live and work and play.
Absolutely. And it's always just good to peruse because, again, I don't know who does it. I've mentioned it before. The names that they come up with for some of these crimes, they're just high quality. And again, sometimes it's fun to kind of, watch some of these videos and because sometimes, criminals aren't necessarily the brightest crayons in the box.
Right.
And so you can kind of laugh at their...
Yeah. And sometimes they talk about their crimes too, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, again, it may not be on the website, but if you overhear information, we'll take that information as well.
Absolutely. All right, Captain Baker, thank you so much for jumping in and joining us today. We appreciate your time as always. We'll see you again in May.
Take care.
We're going to be May next time. Time of this year's just flying by. So appreciate everyone for tuning in and joining. As always, keep it tuned to 1011, both on air and online, for all of your latest news, weather, and sports. Until next time, folks, hope everyone has a nice Wednesday.